Hello there, McKnox here, and this is the third and final part of the sunflower axolotl. If you're clicking on this video and you haven't done parts 1 and 2, there's a link and a card. Today, we're going to make the tail and the arms and legs. Let's finish them up. To make the tail, we're going to start off by making a magic circle of 4 single crochet. Once you've done that, we're going to increase from 4 to 6 stitches. So we're just going to put an increase in that first stitch, and we increase first so that our project is a little bit bigger and thus easier to work with. Then a single crochet, then another increase, and then a single crochet. For our next round, we're increasing from 6 to 8 stitches. So make 2 single crochet, then an increase, 2 single crochet, an increase in the last stitch. I'm going to cut that tail and insert my stitch marker. We're increasing from 8 to 10 stitches. So we're going to do 3 single crochet, then an increase, and repeat that. 3 single crochet, increase. The next round is just putting 1 single crochet into every stitch. So just 10 single crochet. We're increasing from 10 to 11. It doesn't matter where you place your increase. You can put it at the end, the middle, just so long as you have 11 stitches at the end of this round. Our next round is just 1 single crochet in every stitch. Now we're increasing from 11 to 12. I'm going to do 5 single crochet, then an increase, and then 5 single crochet. And I will have 12 stitches at the end of this round. For this next one, we're going to increase from 12 to 13. So when you're increasing, try not to increase in the same spot. Doing so can make your project bend and warp in one direction. So this time, I'm going to do 11 single crochet and then do my increase. This round, I'm increasing from 13 to 14. So I'm just going to make 6 single crochet, then an increase, and then 6 single crochet again. Okay, increasing from 14 to 15. And like before, I'm not increasing in the middle of my project. Instead, I'm doing 13 single crochet and then my increase. For our last round, we're increasing from 15 to 16. So 7 single crochet, then an increase, and 7 single crochet. Fasten off at the end, leaving a long tail for sewing. You probably want your stuffing stick for this part. It can be difficult to get the stuffing into the tip of the tail, so a stick is very helpful for this. You don't want to overstuff this because you want it to look a little flat. If you're having trouble stuffing it to the top right now, don't worry, we'll be adding more stuffing when we sew it on. Sewing the tail on can be a little bit tricky. What I like to do is start where the base of my tail is going to be. It helps me to make sure it's not sewn too high up on the body. You can use pins to keep the tail in place if you need to. I'm going to start sewing here, where the body starts to round out a little bit. I'm going to come out over here for a moment and take a better look at where I want my tail. You can even do this and just kind of pin him down as you work. It can actually help to sew the stitches at the corners of the tail to help keep it in place, and then go back and sew the stitches in between those spots. I'm going to come back to that first stitch. There's no real set way to sew this on. Just make sure that the tail stays centered. You can use pins, you can hold them down like I am. Like I said, you want his tail to be a little bit flat, but I am going to stuff him just a bit more. I'm going to use my stick to really get it down in there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And now I'm just going to finish sewing the top of my tail. If your stitches don't line up exactly with the back, you could just sew through a stitch twice if you have to. Okay, I think that's good. Let's add the tail petals. Adding the first petal can be a little bit tricky. We're going to insert our hook into the center of our tail here, like so. It can be difficult to push it through. Now, if you really have a hard time doing it here, you can insert the hook in a stitch above it, but your petals may look a little odd. So, now you want to attach your golden yarn to your hook. Chain 1 to secure it. We're going to go back into that stitch and make a single crochet. Go back in again and make a half double crochet. Yarn over and a double crochet into that stitch. Then a triple crochet. Yarn over twice, go in, pull up a loop, pull that yarn through 2 loops, then pull it through 2 more, and then pull it through 1 more time. Then chain 2 and slip stitch into the top of that triple crochet. Now we're going to reverse it. Make a double crochet. I promise making the petal on the tip of your tail is the hardest one. Then do a half double crochet. Then a single crochet. And cut your yarn. And we're going to hide our tail yarns before we make the other petals. And what you're going to do is go down into the middle of your tail and do the same thing with the other strand. Bring them out the same stitch, knot and hide them. Okay, so to make our next petal, we're going to count over from that first one, 3 stitches, and insert your hook. Make sure you work on the same side of the tail as your first petal. Okay, attach your yarn, and just like before, chain 1 to secure it. Go into that same stitch, make a single crochet, go back in, half double crochet, back in, double crochet, and again, a triple crochet. Yarn over twice, go in and grab that yarn, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go through those last 2. Chain 2 and slip stitch into the top of that triple crochet. Now, make a double crochet. And then a half double crochet. A single crochet. This time, you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch in your tail. And there's your petal. Cut your yarn and hide the tail ends. So you can space your petals out how you want, but for me, I'm going to put my next petal 2 stitches to the right of this second one. Insert your hook, attach your yarn, and chain 1. Go back in and make my petal. Single crochet, a half double crochet, double crochet, now a triple crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of that triple crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, a single crochet, and finish with a slip stitch into the next stitch. Hide your tail ends. To make these last 2 petals, you're going to do things a little bit differently on the other side. Make sure that your tail is facing the same way. When we made our second petal, we counted over 3 stitches from our tail center. When doing the other side, you want to count over 2 stitches to start your tail petal. And then, for your third petal, start in the stitch right beside that second petal. If you're not certain where to place your petals on your tail, just line them up with the petals on your other side. Okay, so my tail is done. To finish him up, we're going to make his arms first and then his legs. You start off with a magic circle of 6 stitches. Now, all you're going to do is 4 rounds of single crochet, so a total of 24 stitches. You probably won't need your stitch marker, just count them as you go. Fasten off and leave a tail for sewing. I made my 2 arms, and I'm just going to stuff them a little bit. Do not overstuff these because we'll be flattening the arms when we sew them on. You can sew them on however you want. I'm going to do this because I think it's really cute. It's up to you. I'm going to attach my needle to the tail, and I'm going to flatten this arm. Then just weave my needle back and forth between these stitches 3 times. And do this for both of your arms. I'm going to sew on this one first, see where I want it. I'm going to insert my needle here, and I want to sew it diagonally, so I'm going to come out this stitch. And I'm going to sew that thread through both sides of my arm. And then go back down into that stitch I'm coming out of, and pull it tight. And then do this for the middle stitch. Sew through both sides, and then back into that stitch. And then same thing for the last stitch here. And I'm actually going to insert my needle into this loop sticking up here and pin it down. So I brought my end out here with the tail yarn, and I'm just going to knot them and hide them. For the second arm, I'm going to do the same as the first. Sew through both sides of the arm, and then I'm going to find where I want to place it. Like with the first arm, I'm going into the first stitch and then come out this third one. It's hard to see, but I'm sewing through both sides of the arm. Go back into the stitch I'm coming out of and pull it tight. And just do what you did with the first arm. In and out of the arm and back into the stitches. To make the feet, just like with the arms, you're going to start off with a magic circle of 6 stitches. Now, there's 2 ways that you can make them. You can make them the same way as the arms, which is you start off with 6 stitches and then just do 4 rounds of single crochet. So a total of 24 stitches, but you wouldn't flatten the feet. Or, you can do it this way. Instead of doing 4 rounds of single crochet, I'm going to do 3 rounds. So 18 stitches total. And for the last round, we'll do something a little bit different. For now, make 3 rounds of 6 single crochet. So now you can choose to do 1 round of single crochet and finish up, or you can finish the legs like this. Make 3 single crochet, and then make 3 half double crochet. Now fasten off, but you're not sewing these flat. Keep track of your 3 half double crochet because these will be attached to the side of your body like this. If you just did the 4 rounds of single crochet instead, you can kind of place them wherever you want. Stuff your feet lightly, and I'm going to show you how to sew these on. To sew your legs on, you want your half double crochets, the last 3 stitches you made, to be on the outside of your body. So I'm just going to hold this leg in place, and I'm going to go into the next stitch and into the body. And it's just the same as when you sewed your tail on. See where the stitches line up and use the looping method to sew them on. And when you sew the feet on, make sure that they're lined up. use the center of your body here as a guide to place your feet. So, I'm going to attach the other leg and we'll finish our axolotl. To finish our buddy, start with a strand of black yarn. I'm going to count down 2 rows from my eyes and find a stitch centered between them. And when you insert your needle, push deep into your project's head so your yarn is hidden. And make sure to leave a tail to hide later. Coming out of the center stitch, count over 2 more stitches. Push your needle in and come back through into that center stitch. Then count over 2 stitches on the other side and do the same thing. To finish the mouth, we're going to go back into that stitch and come out at this stitch 1 round lower. Then push our needle under that black thread, loop it over, and pull that thread down and insert our needle back into the stitch we're coming out of. And this time, we're going to push our needle out on this side and just do the same thing. Go under that thread, over it, and then back down through. You can also use your needle to sort of push the threads around a little bit. Now, just hide your tails. So there he is. He's all finished. He does look a little different from my first one. I don't think I stuffed him quite as firmly, but that's perfectly fine. He's still really cute, I think. Not every project is going to come out the exact same, and this was only my second time making him. But if you want to see more, you want to learn to make more amigurumi, hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and I'll see you soon.